Hello viewers and welcome to Newsroom TV. I am Makanaka Masenyama. Stories making the headlines. Tension rises day before MDC demonstration. In the courts, judge attacks magistrate as Mnangagwa's aide seeks bail at High Court. In business, Hippo Valley has 1 week to publish its financials or face expulsion from the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. In sports, retaining Dynamo's midfielder Gutu injured. News in detail. In a pre-recorded address, MDC President Nelson Chamisa described August 16 planned demonstrations as Freedom Day and called on Zimbabweans to join hands and make history. Chamisa said the endgame is the establishment of what he called a people's government.
This is a peace day, a family day, a freedom day. Comrades and friends, fellow citizens, it is important that as we go into this, we are looking at the nature of the crisis. The crisis is a crisis of governance, a crisis of legitimacy, a crisis of politics. Fix politics, then you fix the economic. If you don't fix politics, you will have problems. Because the genesis of our problems are disputed elections that are stolen. And the way forward out of this, the end game out of this, is a people's government, a legitimate people's government.
Since losing last year's elections, Chamisa has insisted President Emmerson Mnangagwa stole the polls and should cede power. The MDC leader has refused to recognize Mnangagwa as the legitimate leader of the country. Chamisa has also demanded a meeting with the ZANU-PF leader, but his calls have fallen on deaf ears. President Emmerson Mnangagwa has reportedly given his green light to the planned march by the opposition MDC. Top government sources said Mnangagwa had met with senior security officials Thursday afternoon and resolved to allow the protest to go on against advice from hardliners who reportedly wanted the march stopped. Mnangagwa also took to his Twitter account to appeal for peace during the march. Contacted for comment, Information Secretary Nick Mangwana gave a short response saying the march had not been stopped. Tension gripped Harare Thursday ahead of opposition MDC's much publicized demonstration. The MDC has called for a demonstration termed Free Zimbabwe Demonstration as the party moves to force President Emmerson Mnangagwa to the negotiating table. Truck full of police paramilitary unit, support unit in full riot gear were doing rounds within the capital CBD. For the better part of the day, Harare was crawling with police and other security officials, including the area around Africa Unit Square, adjacent to Parliament Building and not far from Mnangagwa's offices. The tension, which has lasted just about a week, now has also seen arrest, abduction and detention of human rights defenders and opposition politicians. Early Thursday morning, Zimbabwe Human Rights NGO Forum laid into government for threatening the lives of ordinary citizens in dealing with the worsening economic and political crisis. Heads of civil society organizations has called upon SADC, African Union, and the United Nations to condemn the continuing unjustified suppression on civilians by ZANU-PF. Addressing journalists in Harare Thursday on the deteriorating human rights situation in the country, Zimbabwe Peace Project chairperson Justina Mukoko said government has an obligation to respect human rights. Mukoko said information gathered by human rights defenders point to credible threats to the rights of citizens.
We do not anticipate to see the ghost of August 1, 2018 and January 2019 shutdown atrocities revisiting the country. The police have an obligation to maintain law and order and not to interfere with people's enjoyment of human rights. The same applies to the defense forces, whose role is to protect life and not to take it.
In the past 12 months, President Mnangagwa has shown he will not hesitate to use brute force to deal with dissent after deploying the military, killing no less than 20 people in August last year and January this year. In the courts, a top aide to President Emmerson Mnangagwa, Douglas Tapfuma, who is accused of importing over 100 top-of-range personal vehicles using the president's name to evade tax, has approached the High Court seeking bail. Tapfuma appeared before High Court Judge Justice Filda Muzofa, arguing that senior regional magistrate Hosea Mujaya erred in denying him, an argument which the judge supported. Muzofa, however, reserved her judgment on Tafuma's application, saying parties will be informed in due course. Tafuma was the second high-profile official to be arrested for corruption-related offences after former Tourism Minister Priska Mfumira in the aftermath of the appointment of new Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission board chaired by Justice Lois Matanda Moyo. In business, Hippo Valley Estates has 7 days to declare financial results or risk being removed from the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. In an announcement, Zimbabwe Stock Exchange Chief Executive Justice Boni said if Hippo Valley fails to meet the deadline, steps to suspend the company will be taken. Zimbabwe Stock Exchange has also rejected an application by Hippo requesting for an extension to make public its unaudited results to October 31. We are taking a short break. We'll be back soon.
I joined Diaspora Funeral Police when my father passed away. Without them, I don't know where I could have started with all the things I covered for the funeral. For me, to be honest, Diaspora Cash Plan, it was very easy, good transaction. It was only a matter of a phone call. Then they said they'll do everything the rest. To be honest, by end of the day, I got the settlement.
We end with sports. Harare Giants Dynamo's recent revival will face its biggest test on Sunday as they will miss the service of influential midfielder Archford Gutu. Tough Premier Soccer League away match against Wange at the colliery due to injury. The 26-year-old midfielder whose return to Dynamos coincided with their recent run of good form suffered a groin injury during the team's 2-0 win over Mshwan Stars at Trofaro last Sunday. Dynamos coach Twendere Ndiraya admitted that Gutu's absence would be a huge blow for his side, which remains with an outside chance of challenging for the title after overcoming a difficult start to the season. Reporting for newszimbabwe.com, I am Makanaka Masenyama. For this and more stories, visit our website www.newszimbabwe.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel, NewsMTV.